Hi there, this is H. Victoria Hargro Atkerson. I'm an author and a writer, and I write about love and romance. I also write about sexual relationships because I think it's important, and I think it's something that we lack in this country, the openness to discuss what we are feeling and what we're doing. And a lot of times sex is relegated to the back seat and not take the prominent position that it has in our lives, because then I think it does impact whether a person remains married a long time or whether they remain in love for any length of time. I think all of that has to do with our attitudes towards sex and personal relationships. So how we transmit that relationship to a long lasting love affair, I think it has so much to do with how we train our children. And one of the things I love about my new book is that we talk about that in this book, about how the Africans train their children in the art of love and the art of affection. And what they do is to explain in detail what their role is as men and women in different tribes. So I think that's one of the things I absolutely treasure about our African traditions, and I think it's something that we need to adopt as far as educating our children. Sex should not be seen as something that is negative, and sexual behaviors, no matter who we are, whether we're homosexual, bisexual, whatever, it does not matter. We need to be open to human experiences, because this is something that God created for us to enjoy, not to frown upon and not to feel ashamed of. And I've talked to many women who have been married for years who still feel guilty after having sex, and I don't know, how that came about or how those attitudes came about. Some people will tell you, some do not, but some people just don't feel good or positive about having those experiences. And it has to do a great deal with our past, I think, and our past history and our traditions. So take a look at enslaved, because we have, of course, we have rape, but we also have passionate relationships. We have sexual abuse, child abuse, all of that in this book, because that's what was happening during this time. We were not considered as human beings, yet people abused our bodies and abused us as human beings, and did not regard us as even being able to know what was happening to us while we were victimized by whites. So I think we just need to take a look at this as a topic. I write about sex, I write about love relationships, and I love writing about history, and I try to combine that in my many, many writings. So take a look at Enslaved. I think you will love it, and at some parts of it, it will be a bit difficult to handle, because it's talking about some tragedies that happen in our lives as a culture, and it will take you down into that slave ship. It would take you down into the slave quarters, where they were expected to live in filth and in very depressed conditions, and some of the abuse that went on down there. I mean, these are the atrocities our people had to suffer. But one of the things I love to remember, no matter what happened, no matter what these people experienced, they survived. They became strong, and they were strong. Because remember, they only took the best and the strongest out of Africa, which means the ones that are here today, we are a product of all that greatness. We are a product of all that strength, and we are products of those wonderful people who survived. So take pride in that, honor that, and celebrate it. But take a look at this book. It's going to be great. You'll love this book. It's Enslaved. Now, next week we'll probably get into some more topics about writing, because I love to talk about writing, and I love to encourage people to write. So if you have any questions, please send them to me through my website or through Facebook, Instagram. There's so many sites I'm on, I can't even remember all of them, but just type my name in the on your search panel, and you can see how many ways you can contact me or communicate with me. But Enslaved is a great novel, and I think you should take a look at it because I think it has lots of value. One of my readers said she really appreciated it, and she can't wait to read part 2 to find out exactly what happened to these people. But that's coming up soon, so don't worry, I'll take care of you. That story will be coming forth very soon. So we will be looking for Enslaved Part 2, which is Princess Gemma and her continued story. So you take care. Make sure you like my channel and also subscribe to my channel if you have not taken the time to do so. That's the red button on your left, or on your right, my left. So just be sure that you subscribed and let me know that you're there. And thank you for joining my electronic family. It's been great. So love to you. God bless.